Ready for a deep dive. You know, one of those stories, kind of awkward, kind of sweet.
Ah, those heart-fluttering days.
Exactly. Today, we're looking at Flipped. And I gotta say, Flipped by Wendelin Van Draanen. It's not just some trip down memory lane, you know. It really makes you think about how we see things, how families work, and how we figure out who we are.
It's deceptively deep, you know?
Totally. And the best part, we get Julie's side and Bryce's side. Talk about two different takes on the same story.
That's what's so clever about it. We get to see how easily we can get things wrong, how our own, biases color everything. Like with Julie and Bryce, right? She falls for him head over heels.
Instantly.
But if you look closer, it's all surface with Bryce. Her connection to nature, that's the real deal.
Oh, for sure. Remember her sycamore tree?
Yeah.
It's more than just a tree, right? It's like her safe space. Like, she can fly when she's up there.
It's powerful.
Do you think it means something? Like, even at that age, she wants something more, a different view.
Absolutely. It shows how sensitive she is, how she sees beauty in simple things, which ties back to her dad's whole philosophy, the whole being greater than the sum of its parts. It's like her guiding principle.
Okay, so Julie, she's our nature lover, big thinker, and she's smitten with Bryce. But Bryce, he wants nothing to do with her, like goes out of his way to avoid her, hiding, excuses, even gets his dad involved. It's kind of funny how much energy he puts into it. Why is he so freaked out by her crush?
It's vulnerability, right? Plus, he's kind of immature. He just doesn't get it. Easier to run than to, actually see things from her side. But then his grandfather Chet shows up. Changes everything.
Total game changer.
Right. Chet sees something in Julie. Something real. He's not afraid of it like Bryce is.
So true. Chet's the one pushing Bryce to actually talk to Julie, to look deeper, like he sees a bit of himself in her, that appreciation for simple things, genuine connection.
Yeah, definitely.
And then things get interesting, not just with Julie, but within Bryce's own family. What about Chet dropping that truth bomb about Bryce's Uncle David?
Huge turning point. It shows the cracks in that perfect Losky family image. We find out caring for David, who has special needs, it's been tough on them financially, something they hide.
Wow, yeah.
It forces Bryce to face this gap between, how things look and what's really going on. He starts to question everything, his family, himself. It's huge. And all that family drama, it just explodes at that dinner party at Bryce's house.
Oh man, that dinner scene, I felt like I was right there, squirming in my seat. Julie's trying so hard, and Bryce, he's just a mess of nerves, can't even talk. But in the middle of it all, there's that whole weird conversation about perpetual motion. What was that about? Seems so random.
It's not random if you think about it. It shows how different the Bakers and Loskys are, Julie's family, they're all about ideas, even crazy ones, but the Loskys. It's all about appearances, keeping things normal, even if it means no one can actually talk.
Like they're scared to dig a little deeper. Right, see what's really there. Speaking of digging deeper, that leads us to Bryce's dad. His little outburst about the Bakers. Talk about a reality check.
Yeah, it's like he takes off a mask or something.
Exactly. We see this side of him, of their whole family, that Bryce can't ignore anymore.
Totally. Remember what sets him off? He assumes things about the Bakers just because of money. Really ugly stuff. And it shakes Bryce up. Here he is, realizing how fake his family is, and at the same time, he's seeing how amazing Julie is. Everything's shifting for him.
Totally. And then, because junior high isn't awkward enough already, we get the Basket Boy auction.
Oh man, the auction. Like a popularity contest pretending to be something good.
Right. And for Bryce, who's trying to figure out his feelings for Julie, but also fit in with everyone else. Talk about pressure.
For sure. Plus, poor John Truelock. Sitting there while no one bids on him.
So awful. But Julie, she jumps right in. Doesn't even hesitate to be nice, even if it makes her look weird. That says a lot about her, don't you think?
Oh, totally. Everyone else is worried about themselves, but she just does what's right. No second thought. It's the opposite of Bryce and how worried he is about what people think.
So true. But even though she's being strong, you can tell she's hurting too, right? She's still into Bryce, even though she's trying to move on.
Exactly. Bidding on John. Part of her wants to show Bryce she's over him, but when he tries to kiss her, she totally freaks out. All those mixed up feelings just come out.
It's like their roles totally flip. Now Bryce is chasing her, trying to prove he's changed, and Julie, she doesn't know what to think. It's like all that stuff from before is still there between them. What do you make of Julie's reaction? That fear feels important.
Oh yeah, don't forget she heard him in the library laughing at those horrible jokes about her uncle.
Oh right, that was brutal.
It's one thing to not get it, but to actually join in, especially when you like the person. It's awful, and Julie knows it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that library scene, it's like the final straw for Julie, you know? It confirms everything she's worried about. He's not getting it. He cares more about looking good than doing what's right, even if it hurts her.
It's rough, because you can tell Bryce kind of knows he messed up, right? He spends the rest of the book trying to fix things. Show Julie he's not that guy anymore. But is that really possible? Can someone change that much that fast?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? He does do a lot. Starts questioning his family, stands up to his dad, even plants that sycamore tree for Julie, trying to replace the one he tossed aside.
Symbolic, right?
Totally. But at the same time, he wants Julie to like him again. So is it real change? Or is it just to impress her? Tough one.
And that's where Julie's perspective is so key. She sees him trying, but she's not the same girl anymore either. She's learned that charm can be fake, and she deserves better. Makes you think about forgiveness, second chances.
It really does. Flipped doesn't give easy answers, which is why it sticks with you. Will Julie take him back? Who knows? And if she does, will he actually keep growing? Or go back to his old ways? Or left hanging?
I kind of love that, though. Makes you think,
Yes.
what would I do?
Exactly.
And honestly, it makes you look at your own life, too.
Right.
Have I misjudged someone?
Yeah.
Held on to an idea of them, even when it's not true?
That's what's so great about this book. It reminds us we're all works in progress. No one's perfect. And sometimes the most important thing is trying to see the world through someone else's eyes. Really connect.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Flipped, think about what really stuck with you. Maybe it's about second chances, or maybe it's about staying true to yourself, even when it's hard. Whatever it is, hold on to that feeling. Let it remind you about how complex our connections are, how important it is to understand different points of view, and how much we all change and grow.
It's no